Choip, choip, choip. Choip, choip, choip.
Why is the symbol for the revolution a sprout? Why does cuteness give you super strength? And why do they keep your fellows in cages when prisons would be so much more inconvenient? The game takes place on Earth, except it's cuter and run by a single dictator. And they're bad in some way. The cutscenes don't really explain why. But just look at these presumably ill-gotten gains. Plus the dictator and some of his recruits look Vader-esque. I assume underneath all that there's still animals as well. Except less cute. But still cute. Oh look, they want to play tetherball. Sure, you can say an army of cute animals is a gimmick. That it doesn't deserve to be considered a pro or a draw. But I simply refuse to listen to you. Just look at them all. The developers have proven unequivocally that sticking sparkly cartoon eyes on animals is enough to carry a game, and that unlocking them can be the main source of joy. Don't worry, I won't reference that music video. Plus, they can be dressed up in different outfits, and the variety of animals they just stuck eyes on is staggering. And they do succeed in making a few hard cells cute, but in all fairness, not all of them look that cute, and some of them just look how they would look in a video game setting. I think the birds in particular. And sure, if you think a little bit more about this, you'll realize these aren't cute animals. They're mostly cute animal heads stuck onto humanoid bodies. Unless you want to believe that those legs are simply a collar or weird sideburns. No, don't ruin it. Those thoughts are irrelevant. Absolute punishment. I already threw you a bone with the fox. I'm owed this one. Let's start with the obvious. It's visually cute. Pretty good 3D graphics for what I assume is an indie title. Some of the animals look a bit angular, but that's not really bad. The cities are very clean, very white. If a bit cluttered, a light playground. The red of the rioters and the black of the soldiers do stand out. The cities are almost sterile. Which I guess tracks for a police state, or animal control state in this case. Cute, the critters are obviously too big to fit into the buildings, and most levels are like a compact maze. There for you and your critters to race through and get that cheese. That tasty riot police ousting cheese. Gameplay-wise it's nice. You save animals and they join your riot, forming part of a single organism. Reminds me of games like Overlord. Except you don't send your minions forward, they're part of you? As in, not your minions? The bigger the group, the stronger you are. You can pick up more items to chuck. You become hardier because each rioter is like a hit point. And lastly, you unlock more skills to employ. The only drawback to becoming a bigger group is that you become less mobile. Cumbersome and difficult to control. You can easily lose a few animals that way. You essentially play as a Hivemind, completing objectives and defeating enemies on different levels. Sometimes you take on bosses, but usually you capture flags and take over their headquarters, with more and more threats being thrown at you the farther along you are in the game. You get graded for your performance on each level, and if you get an S rank on all missions in an area, you unlock one of those outfits. So there's a small incentive to replay levels and improve, refine, especially since the game isn't that long. Be faster, defeat more enemies, and keep more rioters alive to improve your rank. But it does get frustrating to narrowly miss out on an S rank a couple of times in a row. Especially since usually you have the same objectives in different levels. Makes you want to throw something. But, as mentioned, they do have boss battles to change the pace as well as other levels, such as one animal army levels, a stealth mission, as well as a chase mission or two. The gameplay of punching, throwing, and weaponing is quite entertaining, especially when your group has multiple weapons at the ready. Surgically defeat the enemy before they can react and harm your members. Just charging in won't yield very good results. Unless if you don't mind casualties. The music is good too. Good rhythm with cutesy touches. High energy and upbeat but not fast. A smooth soundtrack to the revolution. guess with the subject matter and cute design, it would have been unwise to make it more serious in tone. Kind of grim. But in all fairness, it would have to be some serious grimness to counteract this level of cute. The story is almost non-existent. Those voiceless short cutscenes displaying the dictator's saving face. Plus, spoiler alert, but it kind of has a really weird ending twist. It really comes out of nowhere. It wasn't set up at all. We don't even know who they are. But arguably that makes it funnier. Dum dum dum. This is dumb. Worth a slight chuckle. Plus, the Resistance also has one of their plans backfire immensely. And that was pretty funny too. As said, the game is rather short. It took me about 12 hours to complete, with an S rank on all levels. If you think you won't like replaying the levels to get the I ranks, your game time will probably be quite a lot shorter. The game is cheap on Steam, 159 Rand full price, 31 Rand 80 on sale. That's 2 Rand 65 per hour of gameplay. Pretty good, and to download it isn't that bad as it only takes up 1299 megabytes on the hard drive. Not the smallest download, but decent. It does work on the Warhorse, but barely. I mean, there's a lot of lag. Considering the fast gameplay, perhaps that's unplayable. So you're probably going to need something stronger than the Warhorse to play it properly. But hopefully nothing that much stronger. I mean, I actually for once tested it out on a box standard, fairly new laptop, and there it worked fine. Stereotypically, it's okay for kids. Bloodless mayhem. In all fairness, some of you may find the subject matter a bit tasteless, but I personally loved it. And maybe it's a bit intense to call this game the main reference point for your children learning about riots. Well, I guess some people are that impressionable, but I maintain some kids can handle it. At the very least. The game has good cute visuals, really cute, and really clean. It has good music that you bob to while you fight the regime, and sway about with your horde. Upbeat, energetic, and also cute. The game has a fun campaign and gameplay. A short campaign and short levels, with a ranking system that incentivizes practice and mastery. Mildly. The outfits aren't that cute. And once again, this deserves to be its own point, its own pro, its own troll. Cute animals! Don't even dare taking that pro away. On the maybe side, the game doesn't really have a story. If you want to be harsh, it doesn't really have world building either. It's just a dictatorship in a city that's very clean, white and sterile, without all the chrome, matching jumpsuits and going all sci-fi about it. Although some of us will consider that a pro, that approach is arguably overdone. Also, it can be quite frustrating to narrowly miss out on an S rank. Oh great, a ninja killed enough of my followers to make me lose out. Or maybe a laser helicopter. On the con side, it's a very singular experience. It's too varied, I suppose, to call it repetitive, especially when you consider how short it is. But getting an S rank on all missions requires focus and not deviating from the plan. Desperately trying to not get hit and shave seconds off your time to get the S rank. And usually you're doing that for the same objectives, just on different levels. And that can make it feel rigid at the very least, boring at the worst. But you know, it's great when you're fresh and everything. Come on, play it, and slug it to the regime. It's absolute punishment. Animal puns are a rich vein.
Choip, choip, choip. Choip, choip, choip.